our amazing MC, my DG CEO, Professor Abdullahi Mustafa, all honorable commissioners here present, directors from the ministry, directors from NAFDA and other agencies, distinguished invited guests, our investors, the paparazzis. I say good evening to you all. Mine is to give you the myths and facts that we have on biotechnology. As useful as the technology is, as beneficial as it has taken many countries out of food insecurity. US, China, Brazil, Argentina, India, I can go on and on. We still have controversies surrounding it, and I'm sure it's all because of trade issues, and then it's those from the other side, the environmentalists, they're always talking against it because they're earning salary from the organic farmers group and then other chemical-based industries that are selling pesticides and all those. So we have the facts. It's a scientific venture, and you know what science is. Science tells you the truth. It is evidence-based. It is a collection of facts. It has everything. And no nation can develop without the use of science and technology. It's actually the base for every developed economy. And so for any scientific product, to be accepted by people, to be adopted by the government, receive acceptance from the people, and then the uptake. If you have so much myths around it, we cannot achieve our aim. And so that's why we take our time, based on our mandate in NAFDA of creating awareness around this technology. So we took our time to get the myths and then give you the facts. And 2.5 months, once you planted, you've harvested. And so you've taken care, because that has been taken care of. The research is not done by farmers, it's just by government and then the agencies. All the farmer needs is to have access to that quality seeds. And we want to ensure that this year, the farmers have access to those seeds, and that's of the cotton. And so that's if you have questions. And there are many others. Today we're importing maize from Brazil. And when you ask those importers, they will tell you that the maize from Brazil is less expensive than the one we produce here. And why? The secret behind is the use of this genetic modification technology, biotechnology, modern biotechnology practice. Once you use it, you develop your crop to resist those pests and insects. That is it. So the farm input becomes less. Production cost goes down. Why our maize in Nigeria is very expensive is because of the production cost. You have to spend so much for you to have high yields. Why? Because the soil is no longer fertile. And then we have the emergence of insects. So many insects now, every day, because of the global warming. The climate change has a lot of havoc, causing a lot of havoc to us, because many insects like warm weather. So the warmer it is, the more insects, emergence. Those that you never thought of, the fall armyworm and all those things. So we have so many crops that are actually in progress, under development. We have a teller maize, also for fall armyworm resistance, a stem borer, and then drought tolerance at the same time. So there are so many. Nigeria is actually on the way to achieving food security because of this technology that we have adopted. We have a regulatory framework. We have national biosafety framework that ensures that whatever practice that we are doing in NAFDA or any other agricultural research institute, that is actually responsibly done, safely done. Safety is never compromised. So in whatever we do, we don't compromise safety. So we have some myths that so many resources, myth one, so many resources are being devoted to GM crop research. These resources should be instead directed to organic farming or other ecological practices, because these practices are proven safe. And so, but we have in fact, to actually counter that. Then there's no scientific data that proves that organic farming to be safer than any other kind of farming. No, is there any data that proves farming crops to be unsafe? Farming biotechnology crops actually requires fewer resources than conventional crops that we farm, because you have already made added value to the seeds, highly improved, highly of high quality and everything. And so even in terms of weather, bad weather or whatever, in terms of drought or in terms of flood, the seeds actually stand out. And I think that was really demonstrated in last year, because some farmers planted the BT crops and then they went into drought, 3 weeks, no rain. But when the rain started, those seeds germinated, but their own local seeds did not germinate. So we have another myth, but if you have questions, you can ask. Field trials of biotech crops are dangerous. That is what people say. And there is a high risk of contaminating other crops surrounding it, the non-biotech crops surrounding biotech crops. But the fact here is that field trials are conducted under very strict conditions, just to ensure that you comply to the international standard and to the national standard, and then follow stringent regulations. It's the most scrutinized foods in the history of mankind, scrutinized technology. You just have to comply. It's because you are taking an unrelated gene from an unrelated species to another unrelated. You can take gene from sorghum and put in maize, maybe to make maize drought tolerant, because sorghum thrives very well in arid zone. And so if you want maize to be drought tolerant, you can actually take. So that gives you, it widens our gene pool. It does not restrict us. Like in hybridization, you can only work within species, from one maize, variety of maize to the other, but not in genetic modification. You can do all. Okay, so I think that we should move to the interactive session. So I think, sorry for power failure. So let me just end it, that many countries have done it. Nigeria can also do it, and Nigeria has taken the steps. Nigeria has taken the steps to do it, of course, by putting in National Biotech Development Agency and NBMA, National Biosector Management Agency, a good regulatory framework in place. So thank you, everyone.
Sorry, because of